What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be fantasy booking AW and New Japan's Forbidden Door. I did do a video like this kind of last year where I did 10 dream matches, so it's kind of like that, but I've been doing these fantasy booking videos as well recently, and I've really enjoyed doing them. This is just me kind of fantasy booking a card like I did for Money in the Bank one, not where I do like a full show with segments and stuff like I did for Collision. Which is funny, even though one of those matches that I did predict for that Collision, literally the day I uploaded that, a couple of hours later, Tony Khan announced that match for Dynamite. So I think TK might be watching these. It is a little bit of a joke. But of course, we do already have 2 matches officially confirmed and announced. We got the graphics already. I'll probably put them up on the screen when I talk about them. So I have included them on this list because, again, it is fantasy booking, but try make it as kind of realistic as possible. I've gone for a 9-match card. Looking at the Forbidden Door show last year, there were 4 pre-show matches and 9 matches on the main show. So I'm not gonna do a pre-show booking. I just booked the main card because there's a lot of matches, and this was such a hard list to put together. It's so hard to come up with something. Because you have to think about both companies and like what potential matches could we get, who will be the right fit to challenge this person. So I've came up with a card here, but let's talk about the first of 2 official matches, and that is Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay once again for the IWGP United States Championship. Of course, a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom where they absolutely tore it down and put on a match of the year candidate. It's probably still up there for my match of the year. Ospreay and Omega, they're going to kill it. Of course, Ospreay winning a tournament over in New Japan to become number 1 contender, beating Hiroshi Tanahashi and then Lance Archer to get this rematch. And then he cut a promo saying he'll fight the whole of Canada if he has to, since it is in Omega's hometown. And this isn't a prediction video, but again, if we're fantasy booking this, let's fantasy book what an outcome would be. I would have Ospreay win here in Canada, setting up Omega Ospreay 3 at All In. Again, maybe that's just because I will be at All In and I would love to see that match. But yeah, that is what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to have Ospreay go over here and go 1 apiece in the series, set up the rematch then for the next month at All In. And then the other match we have officially announced is the American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. And oh my god, I cannot believe we're getting this match. 2 of the greatest ever, not just currently, not just active, but 2 of the greats of all time. You can't, it's hard to find better than Okada and Danielson. Well, Omega as well will be in that list as one of the best, same with Ospreay. But literal dream match that I can't wait to get. 2 of the best in the world. They're absolutely going to tear it down. I probably feel like Danielson will go over in this one, but I'm hoping this sets up Danielson then maybe at like a Wrestle Kingdom rematch or somewhere down the line where Danielson goes over and does the match in Japan. So yeah, we'll go Danielson getting the win with a potential rematch down the line, hopefully. Now onto the actual fantasy booking. I've gone for the returning CM Punk. Of course, we had to get CM Punk on this card here, and I actually put him up against Kenta. Again, another dream match that people have been kind of asking for years. A match that's been teased by Kenta on social media, which makes me think maybe we could get this for Forbidden Door. It makes sense. Kenta, the originator of the GTS. CM Punk openly admitted that he stole it from Kenta, and he kept the name GTS kind of as a tribute to let people know, yeah, this is Kenta's move. And as terms of winner, I feel like CM Punk would get a win here. He's just coming back. I feel like there'll be a lot of momentum. I love Kenta, but his run in New Japan, especially since joining Bullet Club's kind of been a bit it's been a bit meh. It hasn't been as good as I hoped. But yeah, I feel like Punk and Kenta will be a great match. Great story you can tell as well, with both of them being using the GTS. And that was the kind of first match I have here, fantasy booked. Again, it's not really an outlandish match because it's a match that has a very high possibility of happening. It's a match that people have wanted to happen for years. But I've also gone for that here. I've also gone for AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm against New Japan Strong Women's Champion Willow Nightingale. Of course, they're both they're both AEW competitors. They've both made appearances on New Japan recently. Of course, Willow becoming the Strong Champion. I'm pretty sure on that same show we seen Toni Storm at Resurgence. I'm pretty sure it was Resurgence where Toni Storm showed up in New Japan and helped Juice Robinson in his match against Fred Rosser. So I feel like this is a very, again, high possibility happening. You have a New Japan champion, you have an AEW champion. Maybe you can do title for title. Maybe you can just have one belt on the line, since they're both AEW competitors. Maybe Mayu is there, but I do believe there is a Stardom show close to Forbidden Door, like same weekend. So I'm not really sure about that one. So I've played it safe with Willow. You get to represent the New Japan Strong Women's Championship as well, the new belt that they did just bring in. Maybe this would have been more likely to happen if it was Mercedes. If I didn't get injured and she won the belt, maybe like that would have been a good dream match to have Toni versus Mercedes. But yeah, I'd have Willow and Toni here, spotlight the two women's belts and the two women's champions. Of course, Willow has been involved in the feud with the Outcasts a bit as well. So I'd go for that one. Then I'd have Bullet Club versus Bullet Club Gold. Of course, the new Bullet Club, David Finlay's Bullet Club. Of course, you have Finlay himself, you have Gabriel Kidd, Alex Coughlin, and I've gone for Clark Connors to round out and make the fourth. Of course, you could throw in Dan Maloney as well. Dan recently turning on United Empire at Dominion to join with Bullet Club. Of course, we also seen Gabe Kidd and Coughlin debut as Bullet Club members there. I've gone for the three LA Dojo boys though over Dan. I feel like they're more likely to get the spot over Dan Maloney. Again, I don't know if Dan Maloney will be back into UK by now. And of course, I've gone up against Bullet Club Gold, which I have as Jay White, Juice Robinson, and well, it's not officially clear that these are members of Bullet Club Gold, but we did see last night on AEW Dynamite, Austin and Colton Gunn helping Jay White get the win over Ricky Starks, and I feel like I know commentators are like, oh, does this mean they're in, or is it because Ricky is now working with FTR and FTR and the Guns have history? But I'd like to see the Guns in Bullet Club Gold. I feel like they are good additions. I know a lot of people kind of aren't fans of it, and a lot of people aren't fans of the Guns, but I actually do like the Guns. I think they're a great heel tag team. And I think they will fit in great alongside Juice and JY here in Bullet Club Gold. And I feel like this match, again, storyline-wise, makes a lot of sense considering when Jay was leaving New Japan, he was kicked out of Bullet Club technically by David Finlay. Finlay attacked him and said he was kicked out. Of course, then Jay comes in and he's like, I'm keeping the Bullet Club name, I'm doing Bullet Club Gold. So the battle for Bullet Club supremacy have gone here, and this is kind of a tough one. Jay White, of course, is the bigger name, but you would want to establish David Finlay and the new Bullet Club. If you are New Japan, you would want them to get the win more, but also AEW would want to establish Bullet Club Gold more. So this is one where I'm kind of, where do you go with this one? I'm actually going to give the win to Bullet Club. I feel like, but do you have Jay White lose? Well, you can have one the Guns take the fall. That doesn't really mean much. But I feel like give the win to Finlay, Kidd, Coughlin and Clark here, and give it to new Bullet Club. Give it to David Finlay's Bullet Club and kind of establish David Finlay as the new leader of Bullet Club. Like I said, you can have the Guns take the fall, one of the Austin or Colton take the fall. It doesn't really hurt Juice, it doesn't really hurt Jay either in that way. Next up, I've gone New Japan Television Championship match, Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Pac. And looking at it here, they've only ever had two singles matches, one in 2011 for IPW and the other in 2019 for Rev Pro. So yeah, here again, Sabre versus Pac. Give them 15 minutes for the New Japan title. They will tear the house down. It'll be a great match, and a match I would really like to see. I was trying to think of opponents for Sabre, and now that Danielson, the obvious ones out of the way, maybe you could throw in like a Wheeler or Daniel Garcia. or something. But I feel like Pac would be the bigger match. And like I said, it's only really happened twice in the UK. Hasn't really happened on a big stage like this. So yeah, let's go Pac and Sabre, and of course we'd have Zack defend the belt in another successful great match. And speaking of great title reigns and successful defenses, I've gone for Orange Cassidy versus Tomohiro Ishii. I was trying to again find a spot for Cassidy. Of course last year he had that great match against Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, and I was looking at the New Japan roster and I was kind of like, who could I put in the spot against Orange Cassidy? Who could take the fall here and let Cassidy continue on his great title run? And then I came across Tomohiro Ishii, and I was like, Ishii, he's done appearances in AEW, he has taken pins before, why not just throw him in here against Orange Cassidy? Actually, let me just double check if this hasn't happened before, because now I'm kind of talking about it, I'm kind of thinking, has Ishii challenged for this belt already? As he faced Orange Cassidy. Where am I going? I'm going to matches and I'm going to search Orange Cassidy. I don't believe it has. They've teamed once in AEW in 2021. It was Chaos's Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii versus the Butcher and the Blade, getting the win in that one. War Orange and Ishii. So yeah, they haven't faced up before. I knew there was something with Orange Cassidy and Ishii in AEW before. I just needed to double check it. So you can kind of play it in two Chaos stablemates, so maybe this doesn't happen then. But yeah, I was kind of looking at, and it's like, I need something for Ishii. He's not going to be defended 6-man belts because Okada's already in the match. So yeah, I was like, why not just throw him in here against Orange Cassidy? That would be a fun mix of styles and a fun match, and I feel like would be something fun to see. Will be Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii. Now we're moving kind of into the two I have kind of as like two title matches basically. I've one for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship and for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and we're going to start with the IWGP Championship, and I've gone for the current reigning champion Sanada defending against Takeshita. Takeshita recently turned heel, and I feel like putting him in a big spotlight against Sanada could be for some good stuff, and I feel like Sanada and Takeshita stylistically would match for a great matchup. Only problem here is, would you want Takeshita to take a loss to someone like Sanada on a big match in a pay-per-view, so close to having him turn heel, so close to not having, or so close to having him turn heel and not having the Omega match yet? Is this something you would do? I'm not sure if it's the smartest idea, but it's fantasy booking. It doesn't really matter. It's what matches would I like to see, and I feel like Takeshita Sanada would tear the house down stylistically. If, like I said, they match up perfectly, and I would like to see that. I also won't mind seeing Takeshita against someone like Shingo Takagi. But again, I was looking at the AEW roster, I was like, who would be a good matchup for Sanada? And instantly I thought of Takeshita. And like I said, I feel like this will be a great matchup. And then the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match, of course, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I'd have defending against the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi. And I know Tanahashi was challenging Jon Moxley for the AEW Interim World Championship last year because CM Punk got injured. It was meant to be Tanahashi versus Punk, but I put Tanahashi back in that role, challenging for the AEW title, because he is the ace of New Japan for a reason. And for a reason I haven't gone up against MJF is because MJF has been talking down on New Japan. He's calling it an indie fed. He's been calling it this, that, and the other. So why not have the ace try come in and defend the honor of New Japan Pro Wrestling against the AEW World Champion? Of course, Max would retain. I know they've kind of set up Cole versus MJF on Dynamite, but I'd hold off onto All In for that. And I don't have anything here for Adam Cole. You could find him he'll probably be turning like some tag match. I can't think of anything from here. Maybe he'd be like I said, it's so hard. There's so many great wrestlers on both rosters. It's hard to fit them all in on this, and this is what it did come up with. But yeah, I would have MJF versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, kind of Tanahashi defending the honor of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this card fantasy booking that I did in the comment section below. If this is something you'd like to see, what matches would you like to see that I've said, what matches would you change? Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.